Now, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a big fan of the 64 gigabyte image. I mean, it's affordable, the download doesn't take forever, you can always expand onto it, you can fit a huge collection of things on it. It's just right in that sweet spot. So with that said, how about let's check out this new 64 gigabyte image. Alrighty then, here we are in the Regelad version 3. And as far as I'm aware, the last image I checked out of theirs was a 128 gigabyte, and it was a sick image, and I really liked it. So something off the bat, this is a 64 gigabyte. This is their Mega Mix version 3. It is running kind of a combination, supposedly, of Motion Blue and hyperpie with some like Mad Little Pixel Weird Dirty Gaming magic added to it. The sound is already set up. It is on the latest version of retropie, and it's rocking a total of 9416. Oh, I like to see that. Anything over the 9000 mark on the 64s is great. And do know that this does have scripts installed. It is video snaps, so that's taking up a lot of space. And the file actually comes with a 2 gigabyte of box art. So whether or not you're going to use the box art or not, you will be able to get that from the download, which is nice. So let's just go through this really quick, starting with Atari 2600, 648, 7800, 54, Neo Geo 151, PC Engine 274, that's a nice one, TurboGrafx 1694, Game & Watch, you get your 55, Virtual Boy 24, Game Boy 581, Game Boy Hacks 19, so nice to see some hack games on there. Game Boy Color 537, Game Boy Advance 1039. That's all of them. Game Boy Hacks. Liking this comic book theme as well. Looks really good with the hacks. Nintendo 870, because that's going to include the hack games. That's why there's so many. Typically, it's only around 700. Nintendo Hack 6. So there must be some other Nintendo games in here as well, besides hack games. Maybe some betas, alphas. Super NES 787. Super NES Hacks 37. These could be fun. Nintendo 64, 275, nice. So I like that they didn't skimp on the N64. This is pretty much all the collection. There's about 303, so 25 less, but you know, there's more than 25 that don't run properly on the Raspberry Pi. SG 1000, 68, Master System 280, Mega Drive 819, Sega Genesis Hacks 191, Sega 32X33, PSP, wow. Good to see a nice PSP collection on here. These are the PSP minis. It's not the actual PSP. PlayStation 17. Let's see what we got here. ATV Racers. Castlevanias. Crash Bash. Grand Theft Auto 2. Guilty Gear. King of Fighters 99. Matt Hoffman. You go, boy. By the way, if anybody wants to see something awesome, there's a documentary on Matt Hoffman and how he like was trying to get the biggest air, and like how he added a little like he added a motor to his bicycle just so he can get higher air, and it was intense. He hurt himself so bad. Anyways, lots of concussions. Arcades, we got 2095, and they're looking good. I mean, I think a lot of people now are taking other people's arcade sets, since people are going through the arcade kits, because MAME is a little difficult to set up if you've never set it up before. So these pre-done, you know, that's running the right version of the MAME emulator and it's all set up properly, is kind of a big deal. You know, it's definitely something that's not easy. It's not like SNES where it's just kind of a dump and go situation. So good to see this. I mean, I'm sure it has such classics as The Simpsons and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Battletoads. It's pretty standard on a lot of this stuff now. There you go. 4-player and 2-player in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then The Simpsons. You got the Tetrises, nice. The Ninja, the Ghostbusters. The Simpsons, you got 4-player and 2-player. Good to see both, so you can have those big house parties where you go 4-player. You don't just have to play Nintendo 64. You can play 4-player on the arcade as well. Final Burn Alpha 144. Oh, you got Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, which is good. A lot of your CPS 1 and 2 are going to be in there as well. Ports, you got desktop and Kodi. And then power, you have the power and shutdown. You're also going to have the background music script pre-installed, the GPIO shutdown pre-installed, add a hard drive script pre-installed, switch to a track mode, and the Team ZT installer to install new games as well. Oh, here we go, Neo Geo. So Neo Geo is going to have your Metal Slug. That's my mistake, not theirs. Metal Slug 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and X. Mutant Nation's a lot of fun. A lot of good Neo Geo games in here. So your CPSs are going to be in the Final Burn Alpha, and then there you go. Let's go ahead and just really quick check out what version this is on. So we are on 4.3.7, and let's go ahead and check out a track mode. Okay, so just getting started, it is select on your controller to get into track mode settings, and as you see, it's not in English. It looks like to be in French. So what you want to do is press select, go to options over there that I just select, and then go to language right here, and let's go ahead and click in there, and then we're going to click A, and then we're going to go, you want to go up and down to English, and then that should do it, and then press select again to get out of here. Or, I'm sorry, I think you got to press B to get out of here, and then, oh, now we're in English. There you go. So definitely set that up. My controls were already set up. If you need to set up your controls at this point, just go into here, and there you go. You can add and remove, select, start, all that stuff. But mine's working fine. My upper buttons are next page, you know, bumper left, bumper right, and then my back is B, and my forward is A. So here you go. In a track mode, you got your track mode setup, which is going to give you all your options, going back into emulation station, controllers, Bluetooth, changing screens, generate your favorites, things like that. To add, so let's just go through the menus really quick. You have your Hack 100s, the top 100 hack games. Cool to see this collection here. Things like the Chrono Trigger, F-Zero hack. So cool little room there. You got your regular hacks. And so this is running... this is not motion blue, this is hyperpie, because as you see, it's taking over the entire screen. You got PlayStation, PSP Minis, Neo Geo, 32X, Mega Drive, Sega Master System, SG-1000, Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, Nintendo, Game Boy Advanced, Game Boy Color, Game Boy, Virtual Boy, Game & Watch, yada 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 yada, Neo Geo, FB Arcade, retropie top 100 is a great one. Top 100 games, a lot of really good ones in here. These are voted best top 100 according to the community, so definitely some good ones in there. And and then you have favorites. By the way, to add things to your favorites, it's just Y on your controller, whatever you have set. Well, I have to watch if I hit Y right now. Do you want to add the favorites? And then I would either go up to yes or down to no and press A. So that's how to add things to your favorites. If you want to shut down your system, the actual way to do it is go to a track mode setup, and there should be a shutdown button here. Shut down. That's the proper way to get out of a track mode. When you reboot up your Pi, it'll go back into a track mode. If you want it to boot up directly into Emulation Station, then you have to go back to Emulation Station here. There's a little menu icon, Emulation Station. So there you have it. No gameplay on this one because there's a lot of setup checking it out. As I mentioned, they were French, but you could get this all working in English very easily, as you saw. So I'm going to go back into Emulation Station. So something I do like about this image as well is all the metadata is in English as well. In this previous builds, they were in French, so good to see that this part of Emulation Station is all set up in English. So that's going to do it. What do I think about this image? Well, I'm definitely going to give it an A. It's really good. It's got a huge collection. It's all set up. They've kind of put everything on here for you. It even has a track mode. Word Dirty Gaming just released a 64, and the Swine Apple 64 came out. And you might be like, well, what's the difference? These all seem very similar. I would say, you know, this one does have all the hack games, which the Swine Apple I don't think has, but the Word Dirty Gaming does have. This one has a track mode, which I don't believe the other two do. So that's all set up for you, and it seems like it's a well-made track mode with not motion blue, but hyperpie. So if you did want kind of a bar top build where you're going to put this on a bar top, or an arcade, I would definitely pick this one for a nice 64 with that bar top potential, because a lot of people like the attract mode or hyperpie, where you get full display videos, HD videos. It does look really snappy, really good. As far as the game selection, things like that, this PSP collection, I haven't seen quite a large one like that on a few different images. And then the Nintendo 64, I mean, I like to see this, even though everyone always complains about Nintendo 64. Like, I like them all dropped on there anyways. It's even fun just to try to play or whatever, and a lot of them are playable. You got the 32X. It is missing a Sega CD, so for those people looking for like a Sega CD, and it's missing a lot of those retro consoles, like Commodore 64 and other older consoles. So make this choice is yours. I would say this is doing things that other images aren't doing. It's not just a complete clone of everything you're seeing. Comes pre-installed with the SNES Mini comic book themes. Those are the main two. And it has those scripts pre-installed. So as I mentioned, it's kind of a doing everything image, but it is all set up for you. Here's the other theme that's installed, and you can easily add more themes, whatever you want. But as you see here, it looks a lot more like the Word Dirty Gaming's image once you go to here. But for sure, and he even mentioned that this is a copy of what a lot of other people are doing out there. But just the slightest little tweaks really do make it your own, or what you're looking for. So there you have it. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.